my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beverly and it is really nice to see you today. So today I wanted to tell you all about my psychic journey and how I'm getting on. I haven't done one of these update videos for a little while and I do not know why. But I'm currently on my second course that I've been doing. So the first course was like an introduction to spirit guides and angels and working with them. Just learning how to develop and raise your vibration by meditating and the very basics of guided meditation to come in contact with your spirit guides. Incredibly interesting. But I'm going to tell you a bit more about my second course. But before I do, I just want to remind you all to please click that little subscribe button down below. It's free. Don't forget to ring that little bell so you're notified every time I upload. And don't forget, when I get to 500 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a giveaway, and wouldn't that be cool? So definitely make sure you are subscribed so you never miss anything I upload. So yeah, today I'm going to be telling you a bit more about my course. This is a course I'm on at the moment. It's level 1 mediumship, psychic mediumship. Just completed the 4th month of this course and I'm learning so much. We have like 1 2-hour session every month and it deals with different subjects and different things. It's really interesting. And then you kind of left the rest of the time to study and learn whatever you want to learn within the parameters of this. And Linda, who runs the course, she's there all the time. Like if ever I have a problem, I just text her and she replies right away. Very knowledgeable, but she's also extremely kind, and she's talked me down so many times when I've panicked, because I'll be honest, I watched far too many horror films early on in life. When I was like in my 20s, I was addicted to horror films, and so I keep thinking that something's going to jump out and get me, or some evil spirit's going to come, and that's not how it works at all. So I'm kind of trying to get my head around how it actually all works. So the course I'm now on is just kind of level 1. It's like the entry level and the basics of all the different things that you can use, all the different skills that you can utilise in order to contact your spirit guides and start to communicate with people who've passed. It's really interesting. It's really difficult though. I definitely find myself sometimes feeling really overwhelmed with the amount of information that I want to learn and that is out there. Like when I start doing blog searches or Google searches for certain subjects, I find myself a little bit like, oh my goodness, there's like 5 bajillion things that I need to learn. Oh my gosh. And it does feel a little bit overwhelming, but I think it's just taking each little bit and just kind of feeling it out. It's level 1, so it's not too in-depth, but it's just kind of feeling out your gifts, what you're most talented at, the things that you can do, because some people can see and hear ghosts. Some people can only communicate when they're in a meditation. Some people can have a chit chat with them as if they're sitting in a room. I don't know. Some people can only contact them with tarot cards. There's so many different kinds of mediumship that this is kind of like feeling out which area kind of suits you best and kind of finding your niche, the way that you want to work the best. So in this course I'm learning how to use a crystal ball. I know, I always feel like David Bowie in Labyrinth. I'm going to insert a little thing. But yeah, this is mine. It's made of selenite, which helps psychic abilities very much. It's really great crystal for using for that. And I've really got into crystals recently, so I've been studying about it. I only found out after buying this that we were supposed to have clear crystal balls, but for some reason I never felt like drawn to those, but I really like this one. And the week where we started working with these, I definitely felt like I could, you know, it worked pretty well for me. So I'm just going to work with what you know, what calls out to me, and it's really pretty. And I've also been learning to use tarot cards. Now there's hundreds of different kinds of tarot cards, and this is the thing that I found most overwhelming, was like if you just search for tarot cards, you can get like fairy cards and angel cards and oracle cards and other cards and soul cards and thingy cards, and it's just like, what? Where do I begin? Where do I start? So the first ones I bought were these, and they're called spiritual guidance cards. They're really pretty, but the thing I didn't like so much is that there's loads of information written on them, and there's a title for each one. And although I enjoy doing like a daily read of myself, like give me a message for today kind of things, to do an actual reading, these wouldn't be very good, I don't think. You're supposed to use your intuition to like read what the card is trying to say. But with these I find myself reading the bottom and then just kind of being like, oh yeah, it means that, which is totally not what you're supposed to be doing. So as soon as I started learning about tarot cards for this use, I was like, that's not really calling out to me. So I bought these. I've had these for years actually. These are messages from your angels. They're really nice cards, but again, they have writing on them. The pictures are really pretty, but for the same reason, they're not really very good for what we're using them for and what we need them for. And so I was kind of searching for tarot cards that are going to actually work for me. And then a friend from the course that I'm on, Josh, gifted me some tarot cards that he started out with. There's not 72 cards in here. I think he said there's 48 instead. But they're much more the traditional cards. And they each have the picture, and they have like a meaning to them as well, which comes in this little book. Our teacher Linda does not like these little books, but I do find it interesting to look up like what the card's supposed to mean after I've read what I think it means. So I found that really interesting, and they're a great base card to just kind of learn from, and I'm so appreciative that he gifted them to me. As with anything when it comes to mediumship, things tend to work better when they're gifted to you rather than buying them for yourself. I don't know why, it's just the way it is. But I'm really I enjoyed working with the crystal ball a lot more than I thought I was going to do. I honestly didn't really understand how the crystal ball worked, and I thought it was one of those things that you just saw on movies, you know, where they gaze into a crystal ball and some message comes through like a little vision. That's not how you use it. You use it more as just like a giant crystal to meditate with, and it helps bring the images through that your spirit guide gives you. So it's just kind of a help along crystal more than you actually look into it and see a picture like a movie, like on TV and movies show you. So that was interesting to learn about. I really enjoy working with the tarot cards. I've always wanted to know how to use tarot cards. It's just been something that I've always just wanted to play with tarot cards. And now I am. I definitely feel like, oh my gosh, this says a lot. This is like, I'm getting a lot from these, and I definitely feel like I'm gonna come to really use these a lot in my practice. And I really love the crystal ball. I didn't think I would. I'm really getting into crystals. If you look down here, I have a ton of crystals I've been buying, and then as I buy them I just kind of like amethyst, and I'll make notes as to what an amethyst is supposed to do, and so I can just easily look it up, and then over time I will come to learn. Like this is lace agate, so it's learning what things are and like kind of starting to get the pieces of the puzzle together. I really like crystals. I've always been a big collector of stones, and so crystals is kind of like just the perfect move on from me. So I'm really enjoying those as well. I've also actually been chatting to my spirit guide. I've been doing that via my pendulums. I couldn't vibe with pendulums for a long time. We used them on the last course as a way of talking to our spirit guides. This is one that Linda gifted to me. She made it for me because of my disabilities. Sometimes I can have very shaky days, and on those days the normal pendulums that you buy, they're too light and it shakes too much. And so she made me one with a bigger rock on the bottom so that it doesn't shake as much when I shake, and I can get a clearer reading. But for a long time I couldn't get my head around how to use these. I was very stuck in like, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, it moves whenever I move, like how do I know it's not me, kind of thing. And then I started to get it and then I lost it again. It's kind of reminded me of maths in that way, because maths was always something that I started to get it and then I would lose it and I'd be like, no, I don't get it again. These are brilliant for talking to your spirit guides, and I've been chitty-chatting. I've been writing down like yes and no questions, and this is something that Josh told me about when he came to see me for one of the days, and he was like, just write down questions that you want to know the answer of and then just ask them and they'll say yes or no. Mine goes backwards and forwards like this, but without me moving my hand, when it's a yes, and side to side when it's a no. And then if my spirit guide is working, it kind of goes in like a circular motion. It's really freaky. Like, sometimes it really frightens me the way it kind of, it's like someone's holding it at the bottom and it's doing this kind of thing. It's really strange, and I really struggled with getting to know how that works. Like, I was like, what? What? Say what? So I really struggled with that for a long time. I don't know. But I have been really enjoying chitty-chatting to my spirit guide, or my SG as I call him. Yeah, it's a man. He is from Asia. I need to look down all the countries that are part of Asia and ask each one so I can find out where exactly they're from. But apparently in a past life I was that person's daughter, which is really cool. And I asked if we had decided to come back into this life, like me come and have another life and they be my spirit guide, if we decided that together, and he said that we had. So I thought that was pretty cool as well. But yeah, I'm really getting into just asking crazy questions of my spirit guide. I've really found that what's held me back, I mean, yeah, is fear. It's just literally fear that I'm gonna have some horrible evil spirit come and take me over, or come and, you know, get clung to me and something's gonna happen and we're gonna get haunted, and it's not how things work. And the more I researched, the more I learned about how things actually work as opposed to how they are in TV and movies. Even like the real life, like ghost hunter programs like Most Haunted and stuff, is not actually how it is to communicate with with spirits, because what it actually is that spirit communicates with my spirit guides and then my spirit guide talks to me. So I don't actually talk to the spirit, like I'm not chatting with them like I'm talking to you. It's more like I'm asking questions and they will put the answer like a film in my head. The best way I can explain this is when I was using the week that we did crystal ball meditations. We were doing readings of each other. There's 4 of us in class, which is perfect, so we can split up into 2s. And me and Josh were put together, and you kind of hold the crystal ball and kind of close your eyes and you feel that person's energy. and then you start to get pictures in your head, and I was getting like this I got the scene from Alien where the monster explodes out of the person's stomach, and I started laughing. I was like, what on earth? And I also got the Coca-Cola Santa Claus in my head, like laughing, like oh, oh, oh. And I was like, I'm getting Santa Claus, and I don't know why, and I started laughing, and he was like, no, it makes sense. And then I told him I'm getting Alien exploding out your stomach, and he said no, that makes sense. And the stomach, it just completely resonated with him. And when I was like, why am I getting like TV and movie references, and Linda was like, because you love your TV, you love, you know, all your programs, and you love watching all. I was like, oh, the shame. But I do, I love watching TV and films, and so it makes sense that my spirit guide would use scenes from TV and movie to speak to me, because it's how I understand the world. So it made sense, and I was like, now I get it. So this really helped. Yeah, I've definitely been enjoying this course. I think this has been my most favourite course, because the first course I did wasn't really my cup of tea. Like, a lot of the things that we did were kind of like entry level, let's just get to know how this world, you know, how the world works. And so it was like the first Harry Potter film, or the first series of a TV show. Like, the first series of Buffy is dreadful. Like, I watch it back now and I'm just like, oh, you've just got to get through season 1. The same with Once Upon a Time. I'm always like, you've just got to get through season 1 and then it's amazing. And the first like book and of a series, the first movie of a series, I always feel like it's just like getting to know the world and how it works. And it doesn't really ever interest me all that much. So I think that's just personal preference. I'm not into that. I like to get into the nitty-gritty of things. So I've been really interested in this course, and I love the way she sets up the course. Is like, she'll give you like quite a hefty amount of paperwork with notes on about different areas, and then you can go back and reference that whenever you need to. If you're like, oh, I need to get my head around this, I'm going to reread her notes. But the best thing I've found is, if I want to know how to do something, is just Google it. I remember asking her, like, are there any books that I should be reading? And she was like, don't be buying books because they cost money. Everything you need to know is on blog posts and in articles and in online, like Wikipedia and things like that. And so I've definitely found that just Googling things is the best solution to my questions. Which seems crazy to me, because I definitely feel like, I don't know, to me it's like Google is a great resource, but I didn't really realise how much of a great resource it was until I started this course and started learning about this and how much information is out there. Anything I need to know, there are blogs out there, and I've actually subscribed to a few blogs for spiritualism, because I definitely want to read about things. That's how I learn. I like to read the information. I definitely find that my recent interests have definitely gone to essential oils. I've gone back to essential oils. I went through a phase of really being into essential oils, and I used to make up my own little blends. I actually went onto Etsy and got these like little rollerball things. They're just like little roll-ons of essential oils for like headaches, panic attacks, because, you know, I've got a generalised anxiety disorder, and one for going to sleep at night. And you just put a little bit on your wrist and a little bit on your temples, and oh my goodness, they're amazing. So I'm definitely going to be getting more little things like that as time goes on. I think I always used to be somebody who was like, oh, I can make it myself, but really when you think about it, it's not really cost effective. When you can just go on Etsy and find whatever you're looking for. Etsy is just the best place. I love buying from Etsy. It's great. crystals, like I said, I'm definitely enjoying just learning about crystals and stones. I've always collected stones. In my, like in our downstairs bathroom, I have this massive like glass vase, and it's just full of stones that I've collected off beaches, and I've been doing that since I was little. My mum's got a picture of me when I was like 3, no, younger than that, probably about 18 months old, and I've got this little basket full of stones that I used to carry around with me when I went to the seaside. So it's something that I've always been into, and just learning about how, you know, Native Americans have certain stones, like certain patterns on them mean different things. Like if they've got a whole, what's the word, like sometimes you get them with like a ring around them in white, and they're called wishing stones. So it's learning about things like that that I find really, really interesting. So I'm really into that, collecting stones and crystals. It's just really cool, and I've just got them littered around my house. So that's something that I've really gotten into. And astrology, I never thought I would be into astrology. I always thought astrology was a load of rubbish, I'll be honest. How can there just be 12 types of human in the world? How does that make sense? But then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, actually, the more I learn about it, it's like to the second you're born. And where the planets are, it's not just, it's like, it can get very specific. And I definitely want to get my birth chart done one day. That's like a little dream of mine, get my birth chart done. I don't know how you do that, but I would love to get that done. So that's where I am at the moment. I'm just really getting down with my SG and just getting to the basics, just learning the very, very basics of things, getting into things like meditating more, grounding myself twice a day, and just really looking after myself, protecting myself. I'm having a lot more happen in my dreams than I am in person. So I don't know if that's got anything to do with how my gifts are going to progress, and how things are going to work for me, whether I'm going to get very good at predicting things or speaking to spirit through my dreams. I don't know. We will find out, and I will keep you posted more often, I promise. It's just really exciting at the minute, and I spend a lot of time dedicated, like a couple of hours every day, dedicated to just learning and practicing. It's become something that's really important to me, and I'm so thankful that it's something that has come into my life, because it just feels incredible. And that's where we are for now. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave me a like, because it helps me get out to more of an audience, and make sure you're subscribed. I know everybody hates this, but it does actually really help people. And share this video if you really enjoyed it. I will see you all next time. Bye!